Good morning from Rocket Lab Launch Complex 1 and welcome to our 52nd launch. Our Electron rocket is on the pad as we count down to liftoff of this mission for Capella space, currently scheduled for 1:18 a.m. local or 13:18 UTC. My name's James Rattray, and today I'm joined by Grayson Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us, Grayson.
My pleasure. And it's great to be joining you at home from Rocket Lab Mission Control in Auckland, New Zealand, as we take you through the final minutes of today's launch operations. We were tracking some strong ground winds earlier in the window, but those have subsided now as we approach T0.
Now, we'll share some more about our customer onboard Electron shortly, but before we do, taking a look at the countdown clock, it's T-minus 12 minutes and 35 seconds, and very shortly our launch director in Mission Control will run through an operations status check called the Go, No-Go poll. Michael Pearson, our launch director for this mission, will speak to each operator on console and ask them to confirm if they're ready to move forward with the final actions in the launch countdown. We're looking for all goes from our operators to move forward, so let's pull up the audio channels from Mission Control now to listen in.
Is go.
Met.
Met is go.
MM.
MM is go.
And LD sub.
LD sub is go.
Okay, the go, no go sequence is complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. We are go for terminal count auto sequence at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the 3-word hold procedure is in effect.
You heard it there. That is our Go, No-Go poll complete, and the team is ready to proceed with all remaining launch operations. Our target liftoff time for this mission remains set at 1:18 a.m. local time, now in 10 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. Now, let's take a bit more of a look at our customer for today, Capella Space. Today's launch is our 5th launch for Capella Space to build out their Earth imaging constellation with synthetic aperture radar, or SAR satellites. SAR is a form of radar that is used to create 2D images or 3D reconstructions of objects and can do so in all atmospheric conditions, including in cloud-covered areas, both day and night. The payload onboard Electron is a single Acadia satellite set to join Capella's constellation in low Earth orbit. The mission is headed to a 615-kilometer orbit today at a 53-degree inclination. Here's more from Capella about their satellites and their mission to provide SAR analytics for their customers.
There's more to discover when we truly see our world. Connection, insight, change, the future. Capella Space is a pioneer of Earth observation. Using unmatched synthetic aperture radar technology, we go deeper to understand our world with every image and innovation. SAR is the future of Earth imaging, data, and monitoring, and it's here today. Unlike passive optical satellites, SAR satellites use radio waves to actively capture high-quality images at any time and in all weather conditions, providing persistent observations like no other technology. But Capella is more than images and satellites. It's an innovation and analytics catalyst, consistently updating and advancing our technology to offer opportunities to see our world like never before. Capella is constantly reinventing what SAR can do.
I saw a company that was taking innovation in space to the next level, being able to bring critical technology, in our case, synthetic aperture radar, the ability to look at the planet in a new way. Capella leads the Earth observation industry in many ways. The diversity of our orbits, the fidelity and quality of our data, and the ability to do direct tasking of our satellites and deliver that information directly to the user.
As the first company to use a fully automated satellite tasking platform, Capella puts users in full control with our simple and secure cloud console and flexible API. Capella's API-first philosophy enables customers to easily integrate Capella's tasking capabilities into their own proprietary applications. Data is tasked, collected, and delivered with unparalleled speed and efficiency. Our satellites capture ultra-high resolution features and changes to produce the best quality imagery available. And with our no human-in-the-loop system and rapid revisit, we deliver this data right when you need it.
What we do here at Capella is we give ourselves many opportunities to push the boundaries of our technology and what would be seen as taking significant risk in just about any other space environment. But because we are deploying many satellites on a continuous basis, we have the ability to take risks without risking our customer's mission.
Capella's advanced SAR satellites are deployed in a variety of orbits, enabling consistent coverage of the Earth and rapid satellite revisit for minimal gaps in observation. Capella's SAR platform and data products are mission-ready to deploy across a range of applications. From wide area coverage down to specific areas of interest, our flexible imaging modes are designed to match your operational needs. Capella's imagery enables highly accurate object detection and classification, so regardless of nighttime or weather conditions, you never miss a thing.
In order to expand the use cases where SAR can be applied, Capella has stood up an ecosystem of analytics partners to address very specific needs of many different customers and their missions.
Our high-quality, high-resolution SAR data and automated tasking platform is ideal for developing advanced AI-powered analytics for rapid decision-making. We see a world where SAR is the standard for Earth observation, connecting people and information in new and interesting ways. We are amplifying intelligence where customers need it most.
It's great to be back on the pad again with another Capella mission. While you might not get to see it during the webcast, included in this launch will be the use of our own Rocket Lab-designed satellite separation system. This is the mechanism that keeps Capella's satellite attached to Electron on the way to space, and which releases Acadia 3 once it's in its target orbit. A huge shout out to our team in Silver Spring, Maryland. They've provided their motorized light bands, advanced light bands, and canisterized satellite deployers to deliver over 1,000 satellites into space with 100% success.
We're now at T-minus 5 minutes and 8 seconds until liftoff. Operations are continuing smoothly, and there's no red flags across any of the stations. Now, today's mission is headed on a southeastern trajectory with the rocket due to fly out over the South Pacific, skirting past Chatham Island before passing north of Antarctica and out towards South America. Now, the rocket on the pad for Capella is Electron, our launch vehicle dedicated for small satellites. It's an 18-metre tall, two-stage-to-orbit rocket made of carbon composite throughout, including its tanks and structures. Today, though, Electron is a little bit taller than typical 18 metres, and that's because we've built an extended fairing especially for this mission that accommodates the height of Capella's payload inside. Now, the white bands you see on the rocket are where liquid oxygen is being stored inside the tanks. The liquid oxygen is stored at minus 173 degrees Celsius, and the cold temperatures of that propellant causes any moisture on the outside to freeze, which is why you're seeing those white bands on stage 1 and stage 2.
At the bottom of that first stage are 9 Rutherford engines, each of them 3D printed and powered by batteries. With individual capability of up to 5,600 pounds of thrust force at sea level, combined, the 9 engines produce about 50,400 pounds of thrust force to achieve liftoff. On the second stage is a single space-optimized Rutherford engine that powers the mission the rest of the way to orbit. Our propellant combination for our Rutherford engines include the liquid oxygen James just mentioned before, mixed with rocket-grade kerosene used across both the first stage and second stage engines.
We're very proud of our Electron rocket, having launched for the 50th time just a few weeks back, making Electron the fastest commercially built rocket to launch 50 times. It's a huge achievement for the entire Rocket Lab team, and it was such a thrill to be able to experience it with everybody last month. Righto, glancing at the countdown clock, it is T-minus 3 minutes on the dot, and we're kicking into full gear. Shortly at T-minus 2 minutes, Electron's flight computer will take over the rest of the countdown autonomously. Liquid oxygen will continue to be loaded to Electron all the way up until T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that's when we should hear the call from Mission Control that the LOX system is in recirculation, meaning that propellant loading is complete. Shortly after that, Mission Control should call out that Electron's first and second stages are fully pressurized and ready for launch, and then it's through to T-minus 10 seconds and the countdown to lift off by our launch director. So we'll hand it over now to Mission Control and listen in on those calls.
The vehicle is fully on internal power. AFGS is green and enabled for flight.
LOX load is complete. System is in recirculation. Anti-geysering is disabled.
Stage 1 and 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Beginning Capella.
Electron has left the pad at Rocket Lab Launch Complex 1 and is soaring sky high on its mission for Capella. The first milestone the rocket will pass through is max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure, the crossover point between dynamic pressure increasing with speed and static pressure decreasing with altitude. It causes the most amount of physical stress on the vehicle, so it's one our team watches out for. That call out should be coming from Mission Control shortly, so let's listen in.
Cleared max Q.
And Electron has cleared max Q. The rocket is performing nominally so far, now up to 2,100 kilometers an hour in speed as it soars past 20 kilometers in altitude. Occurring next will be 3 events across Electron that will happen within seconds of each other. The first is MECO, or main engine cutoff. The power pack for stage 1, consisting of the 9 Rutherford engines, will throttle down and then shut off completely, ahead of the second event, which is called out as stage separation. That's when the second stage separates away from the first stage. A few seconds later, the third event happens, which is ignition of the second stage's Rutherford engine to carry on with the mission. You'll be able to see those 3 events happen in real time from the onboard camera streams, and those callouts should be coming from Mission Control shortly.
"15 seconds to staging. Entered burnout detect mode.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
And stage 2 ignition confirmed.
So a successful MECO, stage separation and second stage ignition there for Electron. Telemetry data for that second stage shows it's moving at more than 7,800 kilometres an hour, now just about to pass 100 kilometres above Earth. There should be no blockers for the next milestone, which is fairing jettison, and that's when Electron's nose cone separates and falls away in preparation for the end of the mission. We might see those 2 halves falling away on the screen as well, so let's keep an eye out for that.
Guidance is nominal.
HV battery discharge, holding nominal.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
There it goes. We heard the call from Mission Control that fairing separation has completed and introduced the Capella payload to space. The mission is now past 150 kilometres in altitude as we make our way to today's orbit, with the Rutherford engine powering Electron's second stage at speeds of more than 9,700 kilometres per hour.
Now at 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the mission, we have a couple of minutes to go until our next mission milestone. That will be the battery hot swap on the second stage, currently expected to take place at the T plus 6 minute 30 mark. Meanwhile, Electron continues to perform nominally on its way to orbit for Capella. The payload is headed to a 615 kilometer circular Earth orbit, where it will join the rest of Capella's constellation of Earth-observing small sats.
HV battery discharge, nominal.
We're coming up now on the battery hot swap for the second stage Rutherford engine. This is an action we perform to make sure the engine has ample battery power to continue firing all the way until orbit. You should be able to see the depleted batteries fall away in place of the fully charged third pack shortly, which will be our visual confirmation that battery hot swap has been completed.
Guidance is nominal. 200 seconds remaining.
HVB battery discharge nominal, approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds.
Throttling down. Battery jettison confirmed.
Confirm hot swaps.
That was the call. That battery hot swap is confirmed. Now, last launch, we introduced some changes to our high voltage battery system, and that hardware is part of our Gen 2 batteries for the Rutherford engine. We redesigned the batteries to introduce more resilience into the system and to improve its electrical performance. Seven minutes and 5 seconds into the mission, hearing nominal calls here from our operators in Rocket Lab Mission Control, and all remains healthy with Capella's satellites on board. If we can bring up the propellant overlays there, here we go, we'll see we've got about 27% propellant remaining in our stage 2 burn. Still about 2 minutes to go until the end of that burn, but as you can see, the nozzle continues to glow hot and bright as we approach 7 minutes and 30 seconds into flight.
HV battery discharge holding nominal.
T plus 7 minutes and 48 seconds into flight, and Electron's stage 2 burn continues nominally. We're getting some beautiful views of the darkness of space from the onboard camera as we make our way around the globe ahead of orbital insertion, which should occur just off of the coast of Antarctica.
As we've been listening in to Mission Control, our GNC operator has confirmed guidance is nominal, and we're about 45 seconds away from second engine cutoff or SECO, followed by kick stage separation. We're looking for that magic number there, just over 27,000 kilometers per hour, which marks orbital velocity.
Guidance is in terminal. 20 seconds remaining.
SECO confirmed.
Stage 3 separation confirmed.
SECO confirmed across the nets, as you can tell from the nozzle on your screen, as you could tell from it getting cold as the engine shut down as planned. The kick stage has also successfully been released from the second stage and is now entering what we call the coast phase. For the next 40 or so minutes, the kick stage will be in an elliptical orbit around Earth before the Curie engine ignites and raises the kick stage's perigee to put us into a circular orbit. From here, we'll deploy Capella's Acadia satellite into its place in the constellation.
And just like that, it doesn't take long to get to orbit once you've got 60,000 pounds of thrust behind you. We'll take a bit of a break on the webcast now, but we'll be back with you closer to payload deployment to listen in on those final moments from Mission Control. Payload deployment's expected in about T plus 56 minutes, so we'll see you back here soon.
Hello and welcome back to the webcast of Rocket Lab's 52nd Electron launch, a dedicated mission for Capella space. Electron launched off of the pad at Launch Complex 1 less than an hour ago at 1:18 a.m. local time, and from there we successfully made our way through the usual launch events, including max Q, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and startup of the Rutherford engine on the second stage. After a successful battery hot swap of our new Gen 2 battery system, we had another engine shutdown and stage separation, but with our second stage and kick stage. That's left us with kick stage and Capella satellite in a coast phase around Earth after being deployed to an elliptical orbit after separation from the second stage.
Now, powering the kick stage is our 3D printed Curie engine, a tiny thruster that uses a bipropellant mixture to precisely point itself before releasing the payload. Now, while we were in our break, we ignited the engine to circularize the mission's trajectory, and after a 3-minute burn, the Curie engine will be shutting down very shortly. Then it's only 40 seconds or so between that action and when Capella's satellites will be released on its 615-kilometre orbit. So let's hand it back over now to Mission Control and listen in for those events.
Curie engine cutoff confirmed.
Final payload orbit achieved.
A successful Curie engine shutdown for the kick stage. Only a few more seconds to go now until it's in position to deploy Capella's satellite to orbit. Handing it back now to Mission Control Comms to take us through to the end of the mission.
KDA 3 deployment confirmed.
And just like that, Mission Control comes through with the great news that we've successfully deployed Capella's satellite to orbit and completed our 52nd Electron mission. Welcome to space for our customer Capella, whose work begins now to commission the satellite as part of its existing SAR constellation in space.
Congratulations to the Rocket Lab team on another successful Electron launch as well. This marks our 10th mission for 2024, just 8 days after our 9th for the year. Keep an eye on Rocket Lab's Facebook, X, and Instagram pages for information on our next mission. And of course, we'll be seeing you back here soon. Until then, thank you for joining us. This is Rocket Lab Mission Control, signing off.